Yins guys, thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. Today is October 3rd, and we're actually recording it on October 3rd because we stayed up entirely too late tonight, and so we're here. It's Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and there are only 3 more games left in the 2022 Pittsburgh Pirates season. My name is Josh, and I'm joined as always by my brother Jake. What's up?
How we doing, man?
Well, we're tired.
Yeah, we're still up.
We're tired. We're still awake, and unfortunately for Jake, he shows up last night here, and I didn't tell him anything. But we had scheduling problems with. We did the move. You know, we're just across town, not like your move,
right,
where you went across the country. But we did the move, and then we just still had some things left. And so we were like, well, we got to get that stuff out. We close next week on the sale, all these things. And the U-Haul was coming on Saturday. I was going to get it all loaded up and pulled and all this stuff. And Jake shows up Saturday night, and I said, oh, by the way, we didn't get the U-Haul for Saturday. It wasn't available. We got it for Sunday. And you're gonna get to help. You're gonna get to help. So it was a long day.
It was a long day, and I know Katie was like, "I hope you don't mind." Listen, I've been doing it all week.
Yeah,
it's literally not a big deal. But
yeah, but we're here, and the Pirates have a winning record this week.
Yeah, how about that?
4-2 this week. Another sweep of the Reds. Gotta like that.
Yeah.
Last 7 games against the Reds.
Yeah.
And we are now tied for last place with the Reds. And I need water.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, and they get the Cubs this week for 3. We get to go play against the Cardinals for 3. I'm going to a couple of the games, though. Pretty sure.
Yeah, you kind of got the good end of this, being still back even after the move. And
yeah,
you get an opportunity to go watch a couple Buccos games.
Yeah, I'm definitely going tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, that is tonight.
Yeah, we're going Monday night, and then possibly going Wednesday night as well.
Yeah. I won't be.
No. No. It pays to be unemployed.
Oh, we did say that because you finished your one job, and then now you're going down, and so you're done with your job here now.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm not getting paid. So, or not, what was it? You're not making money.
So I might as well spend some money.
Yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, let's talk some Pirates. What do you want to talk about? There's a 4-2 week, and I felt like there's just not all of the things that you want to talk about.
Right.
Like it's not loaded because we have these 3 games. This should be year season end recap.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all the things. And I don't know. It's just not, because we got 3 more.
Here we are in Buctober, right?
That's right. We're in Buctober now. Hey, we're 1-1. Why did we get the Cardinals for every game though? It's like, come on. But yeah, we're here. I don't know. It does. It's the end of the year, but we do have 3 more games, and so there's 3 more days, and we got Cruz 3 homers away from 20, Reynolds 3 away from 30. Is that right?
Yep.
And Swearingen 2 away from 20. So there's even a little bit to kind of say, like, how'd they finish? Well, we're not quite sure. It is possible that one of those 3 guys gets, to that next number. I don't know if that's important. Maybe more so for Reynolds than anyone else.
Yeah, maybe.
Getting to 20, not a huge deal, especially when like you're not in arbitration or anything like that. You're still a rookie.
Yeah.
Where for Reynolds, like it makes a difference on the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So maybe we'll see if he can. I don't think so, but never know who's going to be pitching for the Cardinals. They've got it in the bag, and they're not even getting that number 2 spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We already know that. Like their position in this whole thing is already set because of the Dodgers and the Braves and Mets.
Yeah, they're going to get a 3-game series at St. Louis.
Yep. It's going to be weird watching the new postseason.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I want to see it play out because I don't know if I like it or not yet.
So we've got obviously St. Louis, we just said.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Dodgers, who've got home field advantage in the whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's what happens when you win 110 games.
110 right now, 3 more left against Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unreal.
Jeez.
110 and 49.
That's just ridiculous. My mic is messing with me right now, man.
Get it together.
Anyway, we're also in person again.
Yeah,
I mean, we said we were
yeah.
going to be, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we
made that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Atlanta and New York, the Mets and Braves battling it out.
Yeah.
Braves just got up by 2 games, so their number's 2, magic number 2.
Yeah.
Any combination. And Atlanta, it gets to play Miami, and the Mets get to play Washington, dude. I mean, like, seriously, this could kind of flip a little bit because you never know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it already did flip. I mean,
Atlanta, you're right.
They went into that series. They just finished a 3-game series against the Mets where they swept them, so they completely flipped the script.
Right.
Just crazy how that division's playing out.
100 wins for Atlanta. My guess is going up against Washington, the Mets will also have 100.
Yeah.
This is the reason there's a wild card team.
This is not the reason there's like 7 wild card teams, but
no, but this is the reason there's a wild card team because what you're looking at is a team in the Mets who would not have made the postseason,
right,
with 100 wins.
Right.
Actually, they probably would have, right? Atlanta wouldn't have, because back then Atlanta would have been in the West with the Dodgers, because there's only 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, that's weird. Milwaukee or Philly for the wild card? Who you got? Philly's got the 2-game lead. Milwaukee gets to play Arizona. Philly has to play Houston.
Wow. But Philly's only got to win 1 game, right?
No, their magic number's 2. They got to win 1, but Milwaukee has to lose 1 as well. So if Milwaukee sweeps Arizona, then Philly has to win 2 games.
I think Philadelphia's still going to take it. I really do. I just don't feel like Milwaukee's been playing great as of late.
Right. 500 ball in their last 10. Philly's
is
under
not playing great either. So
yeah, but
that's interesting.
Yeah.
None of the wild card teams have been playing great. I mean, we have the
San Diego.
we're
San Diego's
right
in the postseason. They clinched.
Yes.
So San Diego's in, and I read this as the first time since what, 2004 that they've been in the postseason. That surprises me.
I think it was 2005.
2005. That surprises me.
Yeah.
That they haven't even made the postseason. Now, they're not one of the new teams in. Like as of this year, right? There's a new team in this year. They're not. That's going to be Philadelphia or Milwaukee
Right.
is going to be that new team. So they'd be in even last year.
Yep.
87 wins. I mean, that's good enough.
I'm just looking at that last 10 column right now, and it blows me away that it's all three teams in the wild card right now are 4-6 in their last 10.
In their last 10, yeah. Well, that's interesting to watch the Philly Milwaukee thing because of the teams they get to play against.
Yeah.
But over to the American League, Yankees are in. They've got it. Toronto and Tampa Bay already got their wild cards. Seattle's already got the wild card. Houston's got home field advantage. Cleveland won their division and won their 90th. I told you they were going to win that 90.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're 8-2.
Dude, that is a team that I do not want to play right now.
Right. I mean, they're doing everything but hitting the ball over the fence.
I think they're even doing that right now, right? No?
They're still not hitting a ton of home runs.
Okay. I mean, but
they're on base. They're
their
running.
Their contact is high.
Yeah.
They're hitting the ball.
Yeah.
And they pitch.
And they're pitching it.
And they play defense. But I'm just saying they're hot right now too. And they're at that point of the season where it should have been earlier. People should have paid attention to them. But now they're just at that point of the season where it's like, you counted us out.
Yeah.
You counted us out and we showed you up.
Yeah, and here we are with 90 wins.
Not only that, but now we're going to make a run.
Mm-hmm.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, that race was the AL Central was kind of close a few weeks ago, and
the White Sox started surging up and then fell apart again.
Yeah, the Guardians have an 11-game lead.
The Guardians, they not only had a good year, but like you could say they could have not had a good year. They're up to 90 wins. Like this is a legit playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like trying to take that away, but the division was given to them.
Yeah.
I mean, the White Sox may not end up over 500. They're 79-80 right now. So they've got to sweep Minnesota to be above 500. Right? Am I right here?
No.
Yeah, because if they go 2-1, they're 81-81.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
above
so they've
500. Yeah.
They've got to sweep them. Or else every team other than Cleveland be at or below 500 on the season.
Correct.
So the division was given to them, but they took it too. Like they took it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not just the division, but they said, no, like we're not just going to win a lousy, division. I'm just trying not to cough, but we're going to actually take it.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it's played out.
Once again, coughing in the same room doesn't actually mute completely.
Right.
But whatever. Granted, they wouldn't be in first place in any other division in baseball.
But they're a legitimate playoff team.
The only thing that I would be concerned about with Cleveland, and I think that because they're playing well now, it's okay. But they're 22-27 against teams over 500. So they've taken advantage of their division, which is what you do. Next year, that will be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because it's a balanced schedule. You'll play less games against your division teams than you do right now. So 22-27 against teams over 500. I don't know that there's any other playoff team that you can really look at and say, yeah, they haven't handled business. Milwaukee's 35-36. They're on the outside looking in right now. Philadelphia, 33-45 against teams over 500. So that last wild card team is kind of taking advantage of bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
35-41 for San Diego.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Actually, St. Louis is 34-38. That's like the same as Cleveland. They just play more games against better teams.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it is what it is. That's your playoff teams. You got any picks here?
What do you want me to pick here?
I don't know. You got any picks? So Philly or Milwaukee gets in? Let's do that first.
Man, it's just so hard because they're playing Houston.
Yeah, I'm still going Philly. I think they do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Milwaukee sweeps Arizona either.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they literally have to sweep.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Philly as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Philly. All right. So then that puts, who is it going to be then? Is it going to be Philadelphia against St. Louis in a 3-game?
Yeah, at St. Louis.
At St. Louis, and then San Diego at New York if it stays the way it is now, which it likely will.
Right.
Okay. We should do a bracket then. The problem with it is if we don't do it now, we're already out. First round will be over by the next time we record.
Yeah.
So you got to pick. We got to pick who we're winning.
Decided.
Yeah, but we got it. We got it here. If things change, then it's fine. Who you got? So you got Philly or St. Louis?
I got St. Louis.
I got St. Louis. All right. Mets or San Diego?
Mets.
Yeah, go Mets. Yeah. I mean, that to me, that one's easy. How about on the other side? That's already decided. Almost decided. Seattle, Tampa Bay could flip spots. Like they could. You know what I mean? So let's go Tampa Bay, Cleveland.
I'm going to say Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah.
I'm still there. And Seattle or Toronto?
Seattle.
I'd like to see it. They got it, right? That's the longest drought.
The hard part about that is Julio Rodriguez is out, and that makes it tough.
Good point. It's a good point.
But I think Seattle finds a way.
I'm going to go Toronto there. They're the home team. So I'm going to go Toronto.
I think Seattle wants playoff baseball back in Seattle. I'd like to see Seattle playoff baseball back in Seattle, I think.
I mean, everybody would want that, but you got to play the games.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so the only difference we have is Toronto and Seattle. I like Seattle more than Toronto. I think Toronto will win.
That's fair.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on to the Pirates now. That was fun.
Yeah.
So one of these days, we'll get to talk about how the Pirates are going to do in the postseason.
One of these days.
Nope, one of these years.
Yeah.
One of these years.
We'll be able to talk about it again.
That's right. Okay, so we recorded last week, and as soon as we hit stop, we looked at our phones, and we could have talked about it during the episode. Like, we could have had our first reaction because we were recording when the news of Andujar came across. We could have actually reacted to it. And we didn't because we didn't look at our phones. That's why I looked at my phone just now. I was like, I got to pick up my phone and look at it because I got to see if we're going to miss anything again.
Right.
But Miguel Andujar claimed off waivers. My initial reaction to this was laughter, just absolute laughter. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was hilarious. Only because of the rumors and, all the obvious, that the Yankees were always going to trade him as if he was enough to get Garrett Cole. And then as if he was enough to get Brian Reynolds.
Right.
And he never was. He never was enough. But here he is now in a Pirates uniform. And it's funny because we could say we didn't even have to give up anybody to get him. And then in the same day, kind of, the very next day, you know what I mean? We find out that Jose Godoy gets called up. And Greg Allen and Michael Chavis both designated for assignment. So Jose Godoy was the call up, because I think at that point, like, Zach Collins was your backup catcher.
Yeah.
And with Michael Chavis being designated, Zach Collins was going to take more of a first base role. So I think that was the decision to bring up Godoy in that scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure, like, why, because when Andujar shows up, you could have just designated Greg Allen and kept Michael Chavis, because it seems like Andujar's not going to play first base.
Right. Yeah.
He's going to play outfield. So I don't know if I was more shocked by Andujar coming in as I was as Chavis going out.
Yeah, it was weird when I saw Chavis get the boot, kind of, because like he seems to be just one of the really well liked guys in the clubhouse. And he wasn't having a horrific season. Was not having a good one.
Yeah, not a good one.
No.
And I think sometimes because like we've talked about this too, and we've talked about, I think I believe I'm recorded saying I would be okay with Chavis being the first baseman if they went out and got a serious corner outfielder. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like that was the only thing, because defensively, I've been impressed. But I also was very clear that first base needed fixed.
Yeah.
And boy, when you look at the numbers, he had some good times. They haven't been recent.
No.
What is it? 19 walks to over 100 strikeouts.
Yeah, I think it was like 130 strikeouts.
And then you just look at the other numbers and it's like, this is not good.
Right.
It's not passable.
No.
Not in any position. And so the thing is that we didn't get to react to that until 6-7 days after it happened. And I think for us, it's kind of like a cheat sheet, like, because you don't get our true. We got an opportunity to look stuff up and to say, oh yeah, you know what? It hasn't been good. Like, this is okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. I was surprised it happened at this point. I felt like it didn't really have to. I would have rather seen Michael Chavis than Zach Collins at first base. And just Jose Godoy not there.
Right. Yeah.
So I would have been happy with that. But at the same time, I think we understand Michael Chavis was not going to be a part of this. We see Ji-Hwan Bae, who we're going to talk about. We see Diego. We see Tucapita. We see
Rudy.
We got all these guys that are there to play second or third. And if Michael Chavis is not going to, like, if you're looking at him, he's not just a first base option. You think of him as like, yeah, but you can keep him around for a bench player for these other positions. And it's like, but we've got that.
Yeah.
Not to mention more coming eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you really think about it, it makes sense. And I think maybe this gives him an opportunity. He's eligible to just be a free agent. This gets him an opportunity to just have that. Here you go. So if somebody can claim you, somebody can claim you. If not, and they outrighted him. And so that was Thursday. It was announced that they cleared waivers. They were sent outright. So they'll be free agents. Both those players will be free agents.
Yeah.
They can opt for that. So
I would imagine both of them will.
Oh yeah. Chavis would be the only one I think maybe he would stick around a little bit, and maybe I don't know. Because I don't know how that necessarily works. Like, at least see what happens. If they don't sign a first baseman, does Chavis get another opportunity?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I just have no idea. But then again, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. Saturday, to me, this was a big deal. Will Crow placed on the injured list. Overdue.
Yeah.
Junior Fernandez brought up. He was one of the guys that we talked about. There was 3 of them. I said, bring these guys up. Bring up Junior Fernandez. See what you got out of him. I didn't know what you had out of him. What you have is about 101. But pumping it multiple times. He also hit the bull a couple times. The control was an issue. But I don't know. It was worth it. It was worth it to bring him up and not see Will Crow out there again.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to see him throwing in that game. I was traveling out to here.
Yeah, you were coming out here, and I told you when you got here, I was like, "Oh, was he still in when you got there, though, or did he just?"
I think we were at the bat at hitting when I came in.
Okay. Sunday, Heineman activated from the injured list. Zach Collins is sick, so he gets on the injured list with just an illness. So I would imagine his season's over.
Yeah.
Just say
Yeah.
It's 10-day injured list. He's done.
He's done.
He's done. So
It's a good observation.
yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the little confidence boost there.
No problem.
All right. Man, I tell you what, we did a lot on the MLB standings and everything. We're through that stuff. We're going to kind of cover some of these games. There's just a little bit, maybe. I mean, we got the pool holes and stuff, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. Let's take our break now and get into Andujar, and we want to talk about Ji-Hwan Bae. We want to talk about some of the other stuff. So let's go ahead and break right now and see if I can get this cough out of me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2 Buctober. Audio podcast available on your favorite podcast platform. Video podcast available on YouTube. Follow us on the socials and subscribe to the podcast. If you're on Apple Podcasts, take a couple minutes for a review. We'll be right back. Swearingen Bat Company is Ohio's premier wood bat company, specializing in custom wood bats to meet any need from T-ball to senior league. Check out their website at swearingenbaseball.com. Link is in the show notes. Twitter and Instagram at Swearingen Bats. You can also find them on Facebook. Swearingen Bat Company, that's swearingenbaseball.com. Let them know you heard it here. And we're back. Bridge to Buctober podcast. Pittsburgh Pirates.
And that.
Come on, Macawack.
Hit another homer.
That's an inside joke. If you guys remember the Rob Makoviak game day, the doubleheader with the Makoviak home runs, we went to the game the next night.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys that was at the game with us was like just had back surgery or something, was on like serious pain meds for his back surgery, like legitimate, like prescribed, and still drank a little too much.
A couple of barley pops. So you used to call it back on,
MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what he called him Macawack.
This dude was literally sitting in his seat.
He was.
They called last call, so he had to go get a couple of them.
That's true.
And he would almost fall asleep. We'd hit him. Like,
I'm not even sure that Makoviak was up.
He probably didn't know either.
And he was just, come on, Macawack.
He would be falling asleep. We'd hit him. He'd wake up and be like, come on, Macawack, hit another homer.
Another home run.
So funny.
I mean, I quote that so much, and nobody knows what it is. That was interesting.
It's a fun day, though.
It was. We had to take the keys.
Yeah, we did.
He's like, I'm okay. No,
you're not, bud. We'll get you home.
Sit in a trunk, dude. Anyway, speaking of this offense, but no, come on, that was funny. So we did the Allen and Chavis on their way out. Well, we didn't do Allen, but I'm okay with it. Bye. See ya. It was fun. Anthony Allen. I'm sorry, Greg Alford. Wait, what?
See what you did there.
Okay, thanks. But let's talk about Andujar coming in. The numbers on the surface don't look. I mean, it's a very small sample.
Very small.
Very small sample. But as of right now, in 6 games, he's hitting 208. You know, pretty par for the course when you think of this. But I feel like it's been a little better than 208.
It's been a little situational stuff.
It's been a little situational. 6 games, he has 7 RBIs.
Yeah, he's sacrifice flies. Even he's putting the ball in play and driving a couple runs in.
Yeah. So I feel like it's not been as awful as it looks on the stat sheet.
Sure.
So to speak. Still just 1 walk to 5 strikeouts, so he's striking out almost once a game. I guess that's still better than some of the waiver claims where it's been like he's striking out 1.5 times per game. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't. I mean, it's still like
it's just too early to tell. And it's just a weird pickup.
I just feel like Sherrington just sees somebody on the waiver wire and he's like, yeah.
Why not?
And I wonder if it's like, we've got guys we could let go. Because at that point, I'll be like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, what's the difference? Why not give him a shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can he be better than Greg Allen? I mean,
most likely.
Probably. Is that your answer? Like, probably or maybe. But it's certainly not like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
We're not. So why not? And I think I've been critical of that. I think I've been critical of the waiver claims. But when I look at this one, that's what I think. Why not? We've got guys hitting like this already. We might as well try somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting more of the same, though. That's the only
You
problem.
are getting more of the same, but who else are you going to get with a week left in the season?
Yeah, it doesn't really even matter.
Right. And that's the other thing is like, why do it at this point? I don't know. It gives you different options going into the offseason. You know that option is not Greg Allen. You know what I mean? You just already know that. You need a right-handed hitter because you're so left-handed heavy.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe there's something there. I have no idea. If he figures something out, then it's going to look great. Sure. I talked about it this week when the signing was made or the claim was made and everything was, you know, are you just trying to, I don't remember how I said it, but basically it's like Ben Sherrington is trying to do this. He's trying to get a Max Muncy or a Justin Turner and trying to make it happen by doing that. But like sooner or later, one of these guys has to hit.
And it could be Andujar. It really could. I mean, the dude put up good numbers his first year in the league.
27 homers, 297. This was the year before the juice ball.
Yeah.
He was injured in 2019. 92 RBIs. I mean, this looked like a sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then never got back to it. Not even close.
Well, he hasn't played the games.
No, but
you know what I mean? Like he's been injured. He has not been able to get back into a rhythm.
Well, and it's not only that. You're the New York Yankees. He's playing for the New York Yankees. When you went down, they found someone else.
Yeah.
It's next man up, but like they'll go get that next man.
Yeah,
and now you're blocked.
The fans won't let you recoup.
Mm-mm.
They're going to let you hear about it.
Yeah, but it is weird. The Yankee fans are very high on him still.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that we hear from were like, I can't believe this, or now he'll go somewhere where he can play and he'll be great. I mean, they've always, like we talked about this with the Brian Reynolds deal and everything, they were always like, we'll give you him and he's going to be so good. And we're like, dude, no. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Because they look to trade from guys like that and like, no, we're looking at the guys who aren't even there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys that Nutting wants Sherrington to get. You know what I mean? The cheap ones.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he's not played more than 45 games. And he played in 149 in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 27 homers, 92 RBIs, 328 on base. The numbers are there.
Yeah. This. Hopefully, I mean, I wouldn't hate to see this one click.
No, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't hate to see them all click.
Well,
but,
yeah, but
you know, I was challenged in the middle of that to say Michael Chavis and Ben Gamel are guys that hit. And I'm like, if that's what hit looks like,
we're in trouble.
We're in real trouble.
Yeah.
And so I looked it up, and just on the surface, I mean, if you look at, because Ben Gamel and Michael Chavis, I mean, Michael Chavis only played 12 games in his first year, but look at the numbers. And you look at Max Muncy and Justin Turner in their first 2 years with the Dodgers, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're talking about two guys with a negative WAR versus two guys with an over 6 WAR in each season.
Yeah, and Ben Gamel's been fun. He's been fun to watch. He's made some absolutely ridiculous catches.
Yeah, which is funny because his defense is not actually that good.
Right, but he makes the spectacular plays.
Yep, I'm here.
And they don't even always look graceful, but he's just a fun guy to watch. He goes out there, he's giving you 110.
Gamel's one of the guys that does the dive when you don't need to dive.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, and maybe you can relate to this too, I can reach and still catch this ball, but when you reach, sometimes you don't have a great, like you're not in a great position to make the catch.
Right.
Where if you dive, he makes diving catches where he can catch the ball with 2 hands. And so, no, did he need to dive? No. But sometimes it's just a way to like say, I want to guarantee I catch this ball.
Yeah.
And maybe for a guy whose defense is not like rated very high, that's a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Last year he played 111 games with the Pirates, 255 with 8 home runs. And I felt like that, and he's played 114 this year. The at-bats, he has 40 more at-bats this year. So pretty close. 42 runs each year? Is that real? That is. Exactly 42 runs.
Yeah.
83 hits to 85 hits. 100. Well, these are strikingly similar.
He's consistent. That's what I mean.
Well, it's 40 more at bats. Let's not get crazy.
I know.
It's 6. Oh, but only 6 more plate appearances? No, those are total bases. Hold on. Oh, no. You know, let's.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 1 more home run this year in those more at bats. But man, same amount of walks, 3 strikeouts away. This is ridiculous. But he went from a 255 to a 232.
Yeah, it's
352 on base last year to a 325. But last year's Ben Gamel, 255, 352. I think I'm okay with that.
yeah.
And we talked about that at the end of last year. I was actually looking up our notes to see what we did at the end of the season last year, just to compare it to what we're planning on doing next week and whatever. And one of the notes that I had written down was, well, I'd like to have Ben Gamel as a 4th outfielder.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like, I'd be okay if we didn't. But only to say, like, I'd also be okay if, you know what I mean, if that's what we end up going with. But, like, I'm more inclined, now that Jack Sawinski's shown up, now that Cal Mitchell's shown up, Kanan Smith and Jigba, we've seen things from these guys that I'm kind of like, yeah, but we've got enough.
Right.
We're
Plus,
good.
if you add Andujar into the mix.
Add Andujar into the mix now, but we don't really, I mean, that's not really in my decision for that. But yeah, you're right. It's there. And then, Travis Swaggerty still needs to prove himself, but he's a situation. He's on the 40-man. He's an option. And like we said, he didn't really get a shot, but he also only hit like 260 in AAA this year. So you think the athleticism's there, the speed's there, all those things, still has to prove it a little bit, but still, it's an option. And to me, as good of an option as Ben Gamel.
Yeah.
He's in 232. He just hit his 9th home run today. In the spring, it really looked like there was going to be a little more pop in the bat.
Didn't play out.
No, there was a lot of home runs hit in the spring.
Yeah, if a guy will be bagging groceries in a couple of weeks.
I just mean from everybody there was.
Right.
And really, the Pirates hit the ball over the fence more this year.
Yeah, they really have.
So they just, need to hit the ball between the lines when it's not. What just happened?
Your light turned off.
Yeah, because you bumped my button, dude.
Well, who has buttons on their desk?
Move. Listen, I got a smart button, and he's bumping it over there. Turned off my fan and everything. That's
just cannot be contained. The one
I
in the
guess.
corner went off.
I know the big one went off. I turned it back on.
There you go.
Sorry, guys.
That's my fault. My bad. I'll take the blame.
Well,
for
it
that
is
one.
in a place where somebody's usually not sitting there.
Right.
We could have moved it. We could have avoided that. So another new face, Ji-Hwan Bae.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to see him play now for a week or so. What do we got here? 8 games and 308, 379 on base. What have you seen? What's kind of stuck out?
His speed, first and foremost, is his speed.
Yeah, me too.
It's unbelievable. But seems to transition back and forth from the outfield infield. Okay, I'm kind of tired of seeing this at the major league level.
Well, he's been doing. To be fair, he's been doing that. He's played a lot of center.
Right. But I will hold true to my statement. Like, you're supposed to do that in the minor leagues. Once you get to call up, you're supposed to kind of have a spot. Or your spot is a bench player who can play all the positions. But he doesn't seem to fall into that category for me.
Okay. Just for the record, 57 games at second base, 24 at short, 20 in center, 8 in left, and 1 inning at third base. 1 inning.
And that's what I mean, and that's fine. It's somewhat even when you're talking about, okay, so his primary position is second base, and then he's been spread out pretty evenly other than that. But I don't know. I feel like as an organization, we're focusing on versatility and playing all these positions and everything, which I think is great for the lower part of your organization. But I just feel like at the big league level, you should have your positions and go with it.
Diego Castillo going in at first base. That's part of this.
Yeah. Which is unfair to Diego to just throw him in there. I mean, sure, there might have been work on the side.
He's a baseball player, though.
He is, and he'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I don't hate the option of Diego Castillo transitioning to first base. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
Yeah,
but he needs more time to just work on being a first baseman before you just throw him there.
So yeah, and to keep that going, but overarching though, not talking about Bae or Castillo. It is interesting that a lot of that is happening at the major league level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, because we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, and you kind of take a look at a situation like this and you say, well, they're learning a lot of positions. If they, you said if they get called up, they should know their position as a starter.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of one of the things that you and I started thinking about after you said that. And I think there's room for it in the Ji-Hwan Bae situation where he did play some outfield, and it did work. And so I think when that happens, it's like, no, this is a legit option. That this guy can handle this position and this position.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a little bit of that. He didn't play outfield until last year. So this is new. He was a second base shortstop all the way through until last year. He played 9 games in center. And this year was the first year he's played in a corner. Those 8 games in left field are the first times he's touched it. He spent the majority of his minors at second base, which is kind of understandable. We actually read something a while ago from him. Like we were Googling some things, and something came up from 2018, basically said he had a candy arm and it'll never last at short. And so we kind of laugh out of that, but yeah, I mean, he's a second baseman. The speed's there. His error was in the outfield.
Yeah.
So he's, been okay at second there. And I think that's going to be, when you get to a point where the Pirates are good, there's going to be a lot less of this. Because you're going to know who's playing what. And Ji-Hwan Bae will be an option if one of those scenarios shows up. Yeah, where you need a center fielder, if he's around and, you know what I'm saying? Like a guy like that, something like that would happen.
I just feel like all this moving pieces around on defense, I feel like it just messes with everything. You can root. I don't know that Cole Tucker got a great fair shake because we kept just putting him in the outfield. Like, he doesn't belong out there. He was a very good defensive shortstop.
Yeah, there's a possibility that that affects the way that you.
Not saying Cole Tucker would have been great. Not saying he would have panned out. But I feel like you didn't put him in a situation to pan out either.
Yeah. There's a lot of things for Cole Tucker. I mean, we could say the things about him being called up early and all those things, but for whatever, whatever reason, he didn't work out, and that's beside the point. I think these guys are in a little bit of a different position. Ji-Hwan Bae, I keep going back to him because that's kind of where we started this. I think it's a little bit different than even Diego Castillo. Diego Castillo is willing. He hasn't really shown us really a whole lot. To be honest with you, I haven't seen him really show us a whole lot defensively at any position.
Right.
Which brings me to Cal Mitchell. Probably a guy that you might say, hey, this offseason, why don't you buy a first baseman's mitt?
Yeah.
Put in the work now.
Yeah, and the offseason is the perfect time to put in the work.
Yeah.
To transition a position.
And let's see if we can get him. We got a lot of left-handed outfielders. First base as a whole. I think for you as a player, I think if I'm Cal Mitchell, and I tell you what, I would even, if I'm Jack Sawinski, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to sit and look at this scenario and say, hey, there's playing time for me.
Yeah.
There's possible playing time for me if I can just play first base as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me those guys haven't played first base at some point in their careers.
Right.
Some point in their life. Left-handed throwers, they've played first base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Has Sawinski played first at all this year? Why do I feel like he has?
No idea.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
But I'm going to look it up, so you're
Absolutely.
waiting. You're waiting to see because you just don't know if it's going to happen. He is not at all. In the minor leagues, he has not at all. Never played first base. Professional baseball. It's a little bit interesting to me. This is surprising. I guess Sawinski, though, with the arm and the whole deal, it's not too surprising.
Yeah.
But looking at Cal Mitchell now, right field DH, we knew that. Nope, not an inning at first base in his minor league career. Man.
But still.
Get a first baseman's mitt, Cal.
Yeah.
The arm's not there.
Right.
Just do it. And when the Pirates this offseason sign that big corner outfielder, I don't know.
Yeah, I still think we need to look at the options for first base outside the organization.
Oh, yeah. But, it does just, make you more versatile.
Either that or I'm ready to. If we don't go out and spend money at all, I'm ready to just see Mason Martin in a Pirates uniform and either pass or fail and move on completely.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking. 23 years old. You kind of almost. He'll pass. He'll pass the Rule 5 this year. Nobody's going to pick him up.
Yeah.
Much as I thought they would last year, I don't think it's happening. Not after that season.
Right.
I'd take my time with him. If somebody picks him up, you say, all right. But
yeah, I don't know. I just think,
yeah, I wait and see. Only because he's 23. And sometimes power takes some time. But with the 40-man roster situation this team's going through, I don't use a spot on him yet. All right, so O'Neal Cruz is killing the ball.
Really has been.
September really kind of changed his, 30-point increase in September.
Yeah.
He hit 284, 348 on base. Driving in runs, kind of doing all that. And I know that, we just can't go through an episode without bringing him up.
Yeah.
And so I'm still impressed. We've got that strikeout rate to about a 35%. Still high, but I hate to say it, but there's a lot of guys out there with a strikeout rate at 35%.
Yeah, there really are.
That 40% is kind of a threshold where I say, a little too much, man.
Yeah, yeah. Still like to see him cut it down a little bit.
100%. I'm just saying. It's not at the... That's the thing. Mason Martin's at 40% in the minors.
Yeah.
They'll eat him alive. What do we got for Jack? We got to get this in real quick. 112. What's his plate appearances? 360. 31%. Man, I thought it was higher than that.
Probably.
I feel like he strikes out more than Cruz right now.
Well, Cruz struck out a lot early.
Yeah. 112 strikeouts and 360. O'Neal is... 123 and 347. That's a big difference.
Yeah,
Gotta get that, man.
I'm almost done seeing him at shortstop, too.
Here we go.
He's made a lot of errors.
Oh, yeah. What's our number now?
16 or 17.
7. No, that's home runs. Is it the same? That's the next. It's 16. The question is 16 errors, 17 homers. Going into next year, will he have more home runs or errors?
Hopefully he's DHing. So
but we're looking like right around the same time. Yeah, I'm with you there.
We have plenty of other guys that can play the shortstop position well.
Do we?
Better.
Okay. Is Newman still around? Is that what you're saying?
If Newman's still around, I wouldn't hate it.
No, I think
another
I'm
one I
with you
wouldn't
right
love,
now.
but I wouldn't hate.
Just this team's got to get better, man.
Yeah, somehow
This
it's got to get
team
better.
has got to get better. Ji-Hwan Bae is really fast. You're right. To go full circle and get back to that. That's what I'll say. He's very fast. I got to see him in Columbus when Indy was in town one time, and it was funny. I was at the game. We ended up landing like tickets in the first row, right behind home plate. Great seats, and he definitely I'm trying to think of who all was there. I know Bly was there. I think Cal was back down at that point. He had a couple hits. But Ji-Hwan Bae hit a home run to dead center and hit a triple and something like that. Maybe it was a double. RBI double. Stole a base. Like he's having a day. And I get a text from a friend of ours. And he's like, hey, what do you know about the Pirates prospect, the second baseman? And I said, Ji-Hwan Bae. And he's like, yeah. I was like, I know he's raking tonight. And then I said, he kind of asked a couple questions. I was like, yeah. I was like, just kind of said, he's not on the 40 man. He's, maybe a guy that'll get a call up this year, kind of a thing like that. And he said, yeah, he's doing really good tonight. And I said, are you at the game? And he said, yeah. I was like, where are you at? Like, I'm here. And he's like, oh, cool. So we, said hi to him or whatever. But it was just funny because it was like in the middle of the game, I'm watching him and I'd get a text about him.
Yeah.
But he had a good game that day. And somebody else was there too. I think Greg Allen played in that game. And it was like, oh, but he had 2 hits. And I was like, dude, he swung and hit a bunt to third and beat it out. And I forget what his other hit was. And then you had, who was it that was also playing? Whoever it was, like stung 2 balls, like smoked them right at someone. And I was like, this guy's hitting better than this guy right now. I can't remember who that was. Because that wasn't Cal, because I think Cal actually had 2 hits. But anyway, I say that just to say I saw him in Columbus. And he had a good game. And I was like, hey, this dude's, hits the ball hard and runs very fast. So we said 3 more games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wrap this thing up. They're all against the Cardinals. This is supposed to be the opening series. We were supposed to get opening day in Pittsburgh, and it was ruined by Bobby Manfred.
Dang it, Bobby.
We're going to get that sound clip. We're going to get it. I have it. I use it at work all the time. I just need to just put it on this side of things. But anyway, Mitch Keller, we don't know. And Johan Oviedo. Oh, we didn't talk about Luis Ortiz's rough start, which I feel like is unfair because we talked about how we were impressed. It's worth it to say he struggled, and maybe that's a good thing moving forward. They have to struggle to get better.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Yep.
So anyway, Mitch Keller's last outing, Johan Oviedo pitches the last game, and there's nobody listed. It's TBD for Tuesday's game.
I would imagine it'll probably be Bryce Wilson.
I would imagine it would be Bryce Wilson.
It's either going to be a Bryce Wilson or it's going to be a call-up.
Okay. Bryce Wilson had a good start. Well, here we are, not stopping, but
yeah, it was 8 shutout innings.
Best start of his career. You still getting rid of him?
I don't know.
He's gone for me. One start doesn't do it, just like one bad start doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
One good start isn't going to do it for me either. I've seen enough. If he works out, he's only 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If he works out somewhere, I'm okay with that. There's been other guys to work out somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we talk about them all the time. Look, as soon as they leave, they get good. That could happen with him.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to be okay with that.
Right.
It might not happen too.
Right.
So
I'm
okay
you.
with it.
I'm with you.
All right. We got 3 games left. We got 99 losses. We're losing 100 games, folks.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
We might win 2 out of 3 here.
A chance.
We're not sweeping them.
Highly doubt it.
All right. I'm going to go.
I like our bookend pitching matchups there.
I do. Well, we don't have what they have.
Matchups, but
We got TBD for them
yeah.
on all 3 days. But that might play in our favor because they might not throw their playoff guys.
Right.
And if they do, they'll probably take it easy on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're going to have to play 3 straight days.
They're already locked in exactly where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? There's a chance. All right. Well, that's all we have for today, right?
Yeah.
Oh, real loud. We got the music. I just put the music on real loud.
You did. It's
Didn't
fine.
fade it in.
It's fine.
Didn't do anything like that.
This week is what it is.
This is a wild day, man.
It's 1:17 in the morning.
1:17 in the morning, and I'm so tired.
Yeah. Same.
We got one week here. We got 3 days, I mean. What's going on? I already said that. I'm so tired.
Oh, man.
Let's go, Bucks.
Let's go, Bucks.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucks!